So guys, the big question shaking the Apple world right now is this. Are we finally about to witness the return of the all-new Mac Mini powered by Apple's M5 and M5 Pro chips? Will Apple unveil its next-generation compact desktop powerhouse in 2025? Or could the launch get pushed back to early 2026? Maybe even skip the M5 entirely and leap straight to the rumored M6 generation? Whatever happens, one thing's clear. Apple's smallest desktop might be heading for its biggest transformation yet. Today, we're diving deep into every major leak, insider tip, and technical prediction surrounding the next Mac Mini M5 and M5 Pro. From design and chip upgrades to AI integration, pricing strategy, and release timing, this tiny computer could change what power in a small box truly means. So grab a coffee, because this story is about how Apple's smallest Mac might soon outthink, outsmart, and outperform computers twice its size. Let's rewind for a second. Right now, the Mac Mini lineup runs on Apple's M4 and M4 Pro chips, released toward the end of 2024. That launch was historic, not because of raw power, but because of what it represented. For nearly 15 years, Apple kept the same chassis, the same boxy aluminum design that defined the Mac Mini since the Intel era. But in 2024, Apple finally broke tradition and unveiled a Mini that was smaller, sleeker, and shockingly more efficient. The new design reduced the overall volume by nearly 50%, improved thermal performance, and even introduced a new internal layout that made fan noise practically disappear. This wasn't just an update. It was a message. Apple was declaring that efficiency is the new power. And starting at just $599, with 16 GB of unified memory and SSD storage, the M4 Mac Mini became one of Apple's best value computers ever. A system capable of editing 4K video, running massive Xcode projects, or streaming multiple 8K displays without breaking a sweat. But Apple's story never ends with good enough. Now, the tech world is buzzing with one question. What's next? And that brings us to the M5 generation, which could mark the biggest leap forward in Apple Silicon history. Let's talk chips, because this is where things get seriously exciting. The upcoming Apple M5 chip is expected to be built on TSMC's 2nm process, which is a monumental step forward from the 3nm technology used in the M4. This means smaller transistors, higher density and lower power consumption, resulting in faster speeds, cooler thermals, and insane efficiency. In simple terms, more power, less heat, same silence. Analysts are predicting up to a 25% jump in multi-core performance and 15% faster single-core speeds compared to the M4. For graphics, Apple might finally increase the GPU core count from 10 to 12, giving the M5 Mac Mini a real desktop-class punch. That's big news for video editors, designers, and 3D artists who've always wanted workstation-level performance without paying Mac Studio prices. But the story doesn't stop there, and because Apple might also tweak the neural engine and media engine inside the M5, we're talking about AI-powered encoding, real-time video upscaling, and smarter resource management that adjusts power on the fly depending on your task. Imagine rendering a complex 4K timeline or running multiple simulations, and your Mac Mini intelligently balances CPU and GPU loads while keeping the temperature whisper quiet. That's the level of optimization Apple is aiming for with the M5 now. Let's talk memory and storage, two things that define the everyday experience. Apple recently made 16 GB unified memory the default across the board, and that's not changing anytime soon. However, the M5 Mac Mini could finally fix one of the most frustrating issues: storage. The 256 GB SSD base model just doesn't make sense in 2025, so expect Apple to double the baseline storage to 512 GB while keeping the same $590 starting price. That means faster workflows, more space for creators, and less pressure to pay for upgrades, making it an unbeatable value in Apple's desktop lineup. Now, let's step up to the big league, the M5 Pro Mac Mini. This is where Apple takes the brakes off. The M5 Pro could feature up to 16 CPU cores, that's 12 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, along with 22 GPU cores. That's not just a step up, that's Mac Studio performance and Mac Mini size. You'll be able to edit 8K videos, design an Unreal Engine, or even train AI models locally, all on a device that fits in the palm of your hand. The new 2-nanometer process means the chip runs cooler while still maintaining higher clock speeds. Combine that with Apple's unified thermal system, and you're looking at sustained power delivery with near-silent cooling. Some leaks even suggest Apple could introduce a vapor chamber or dual fan system for the Pro model, giving it headroom for long, demanding tasks. And the best part? The exterior design will likely stay the same: clean, compact, iconic. Apple knows the Mac Mini's form factor is loved as is. It doesn't need a redesign. It just needs more power inside. Let's move to connectivity. Expect the M5 series Mac Minis to support Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6E, and Thunderbolt 5, all major upgrades that bring faster transfer speeds and lower latency. That means faster backups, instant device pairing, and ultra-responsive workflows for professional studios and content creators. Now, let's talk pricing, because Apple's pricing tells a story of its own. The base M5 Mac Mini will most likely stick to $590 in the US, keeping it Apple's most affordable Mac. Meanwhile, the M5 Pro variant will probably start at $1,399, with top-end configurations reaching $2,000 plus, depending on RAM and storage. That may sound high, but when you compare it to the Mac Studio or MacBook Pro, the M5 Mini could deliver 80–90% of their performance at nearly half the price. It's Apple's way of making power accessible, and that's exactly what makes the Mini so iconic. So, when is it coming? According to leaks from supply chain sources and analysts, the M5 chip will debut in late 2025, first appearing in the next-gen iPad Pro or the Vision Pro 2 headset. The Mac Mini M5 could then follow in early 2026, possibly alongside a refreshed MacBook Air lineup. Looking at Apple's history, M1 2020, M2 2022, M3 2023, M4 2024, the timeline makes perfect sense. And while some speculate Apple might skip M5 entirely and jump to M6 by late 2026, that's unlikely. Apple needs to keep its desktop lineup fresh, especially with the rise of AI-driven computing. Speaking of AI, this might be the biggest game changer of all. Apple's upcoming macOS 16 and macOS 17 updates will introduce Apple Intelligence, a suite of on-device AI tools. We're talking about live translation, AI-based audio cleanup, generative image backgrounds, and smart assistants in Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro, all running locally, not in the cloud. This means your data stays private. Processing is instant, and performance is fully optimized by the M5's next-gen neural engine, so the M5 Mac Mini won't just be a computer. It'll be your intelligent creative assistant. To wrap it all up, rapidly K. Upcoming Mac Mini M5 and M5 Pro could easily become the most advanced compact desktops Apple has ever created. We're talking 2-nanometer Apple Silicon up to 16 CPU cores and 22 GPU cores, Wi-Fi 7, and Thunderbolt 564GB unified memory support, 512GB base, storage, AI-powered macOS optimization, all inside that iconic, minimalist aluminum shell that's as small as ever, yet infinitely smarter. So, whether you're a developer, video editor, or just someone who loves the Apple ecosystem, the M5 Mac Mini could be the perfect blend of power, silence, and intelligence. The only real question left is, when the M5 Mac Mini finally arrives, will you be upgrading? Or are you holding out for the mysterious M6 generation that might change everything again? Either way, one thing's certain, Apple's smallest desktop is about to make its biggest comeback. This is Touch Trove, your home for everything: Apple, tech, and innovation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because the next leak might just blow your mind.